So on to question number 3. Here I've just written the departure time. We were given he left at 8:30 and arrived at 10:15. So you can just highlight these 3 things, and the distance that he covered was 40 kilometers. So you've been asked to determine the average speed in kilometers per hour. So the first thing that you need to do when given such a question, you can just come here and draw this triangle. Write here D, S, T. S stands for speed, distance for D, and time is T. So we are looking for the speed. So speed is equals to distance over time. You can actually use this just to remind yourself. So speed is equals to distance divided by time. So once you have that, remember we have the distance covered is 40 kilometers. So we need the time taken. So when finding time taken, you take you actually take arrival time, you minus the departure time. And this arrival was 10:15 and he left at 8:30. So we less in order to find the time taken. The secret that where most people maybe end up confusing or failing is while subtracting the time. Remember here it's actually different from how we do our normal calculations. When you borrow from this side, this is 1 hour because this is hours and this is minutes. So you borrowed 1 hour, this becomes 9. And remember 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. So if for you to add it here, you're going to take 60, you add plus 15, it actually gives you 75. So when you come here, you're going to have 75. Remember just to convert the hours into minutes. So 1 subtracting 5 minus 0 is 5, 7 minus 3 is 4, and 9 minus 8 is 1. So the time taken was 1 hour and 45 minutes. So we have distance covered and we also have the time taken. So remember also, you've been asked in the question, determine the average speed in kilometers per hour. And our time here, we have it in hours and minutes. So we have to convert the 45 minutes into hours. Remember, like we said, 1 hour is equals to 60 minutes. What about 45 minutes? Once you have this, you cross multiply 1 times 45 divided by 60. And this becomes, you can actually divide this, it gives you 3 over 4. So you have 3 over 4 hours. We've actually changed the 45 minutes into hours. So now you can just come in directly, put them in the formula. So like we said, speed is equals to distance over time. Time taken was 40 kilometers over 3 over 4 hours. So now simplifying this is the same as 140 over, you can actually make this 1 times 4 is 4 plus 3, 7 over 4. Once you have this, now multiplying it will be easier. It becomes 140 times u. The reciprocal is 4 over 7. By 7, 1. By 7, 20. And you're left with 20 times 4 is 80. So your answer becomes 80 kilometers per hour. So that was your answer. As you can see, this question was very direct and simple. The trick here was just to watch out when subtracting the time, when getting the time taken. Just remember to convert the 1 hour into minutes while bringing it into this side. And also once you have the time taken, remember the question has been asked in kilometers per hour. So you're expected to change these 45 minutes into hours, and it gives you 3 over 4 hours. Then you just come in, divide the normal way, and you get your answer as 80 kilometers per hour. Yeah, so let's go to question number 4. So now we are going to look at question number 4. In fact, this was a very, very simple question. I think it was worth 2 marks. You've been asked to expand and simplify, and you've been given this. So solution, So step 1, you expand. And by expanding, it actually means you can open the brackets now. Let me write the question again. 4q plus 6 plus 7q minus 3. So given this, now let's open the brackets. 4 goes to 4 times q becomes 4q plus 4 times 6 is 24 plus 7 times q is 7q. And here's where the trick comes and most people end up failing. Remember, a positive times a negative gives you a negative sign. So just this is where you're supposed to remember. Don't carry this positive sign and just place it here. Remember, when opening this bracket, this is a positive and a negative, so you have to use the basic laws. And remember, if you don't understand this topic well, we have a topic on just this simple, how to multiply a positive and a negative, positive and a positive, and such. So for this case, it's positive and minus gives you negative. 7 times 3 is 21. So once you have that, we've already expanded the question. Now we can come to step 2 in simplify. And by simplifying, this means that you put like terms together. We have 4q and 7q. They belong to one side, and we have 24 and 21, which are whole numbers. You can easily simplify them. So 4 plus 7 gives you 11q plus 24 minus 21 is 3. So technically your answer becomes 11q plus 3. As you've seen, no struggle here, just expanding by opening the brackets, and then you simplify by putting like terms together. The q is one side and the whole numbers the other side, and this is your answer. So I just think the trick here that you need to watch out is the positive, multiplying the positive and the minus, and also while adding and such. So here, just make sure you're good when it comes to the signs, and multiplying them, dividing them, and such. So thanks. Let's go to question number 5. So let's go to question number 5, and you've been asked to find the perpendicular distance between PQ and SR. This find H. So what you need to do, you've been given the area is 28 centimeters squared, and PQ is 8 centimeters, SR is 6 centimeters. Remember, this is a trapezium. So what you need to know, solution, area of a trapezium is equals to a half A plus B multiplied by H. So a half, and the area is 28, is equals to a half. A is 8 plus B, can use 6. H, we are looking for H. So this can be a half. 8 plus 6 is 14. H, and remember area is 28. So you can cancel this out by 2 1, by 2 7, and you're left with 7H is equals to 28. So when finding H, you just divide by 7 both sides, and you find your H to be 4. So your answer is the height is equals to 4 centimeters. This was just a direct question. What you needed to know is simply the formula. Area is equals to a half A plus B H, and since you have the area and you have the two sides, so you just look for the height. So this was direct and simple. Just remember, before you get into an exam, you have the formulas on your fingertips. You know how to find the areas and such. So let's go to question number 6. So now let's go to question 6. You've been given that the cube root of 9 raised to 4 is equals to 3 raised to n, and you've been asked to find the value of n. So you remember, this question is in the topic for indices. Let me just highlight the 3 laws of indices. So 1, the first law is a raised to m multiplied by a raised to n. This is the same as, since they are of the same base, the same as a, m plus n. When there's a multiplication sign, you add. And the second one, a raised to n divided by a raised to n, is the same as a raised to m minus n. You subtract because of the division sign. And the third one, given that a raised to n multiplied by n is the same as a, you multiply the powers, m, n. And also some things that you can actually put in your mind. Remember, when given a raised to 0, is the same as 1. And when given, a raised to 1 is the same as a. So these are some of the laws that you can actually write. They can guide you. So now let's look at the question. Solution for our question. Given cube root of 9 raised to 4 is equals to 3 raised to n. So the first step, you can actually start by removing the cube root. And for you to remove the cube root, you multiply both sides by power 3 multiplied by power 3. So this cube root goes with this. And for this side, you're left with 9 raised to power 4 is equals to, for this other side, remember we're going to use the third law, where we said a raised to m multiplied by n is the same as multiplying the powers, becomes a m n. And we have 3 raised to n raised to power 3. So we multiply these two, it becomes 3 times n, 3n. Then now we can actually simplify this, because 9 can be written as 3 to power 2. So 9 is, instead of writing 9, we can put it so that they can have the same base. This can be written as 3 to power 2, because 3 to power 2 is the same as 9. But remember, there is a 4. It was raised to power 4. Remember to indicate it is equals to 3n. Then for us to simplify this, the third law, we multiply the two powers. 2 times 4 is 8, so it becomes 3. 8 is equals to 3 raised to n. Remember, in indices, when the base is the same, it actually means that the powers are the same. So you just come and take the powers, these two they can cancel, you are left with 8 is equals to 3n. Divide both sides by 3 so that you're left with n by 3, and your n becomes 8 over 3, or you can write it as 2 over 3. So this is your answer. So maybe you can just write these formulas that I've written here. They will help you and guide you while working out this question. Yeah, so this is how you are expected to do question 6. So now let's go to question 7. So question 7, basically here you've been given just 3 villages. We have A, we have B, and C. And we've been given B is 53 kilometers on a bearing of 295 degrees from A. C is 75 kilometers east of B. B is from A. And remember, the scale that you've been asked to use here is 1 centimeters represent 10 kilometers. So you've been asked part A, show the relative position of the villages. So solution. So what you're required to do, one, you can just draw a sketch before you actually draw using the actual measurements. So let's begin with drawing. A, you can just have small one. This is our north, east, south, and west. So this is our A. So you've been told B is 53 kilometers on a bearing of 295 degrees from A. So from A to 95, we start from this side. So this is 90 plus 90, it becomes 180 plus another 90 becomes 270. For it to be 295, because you're actually going to 295, you're going to add 25 so that it can cover 295. So here we draw the line like 53 kilometers. Let's now assume this is just 53 kilometers, and we can draw B here. Now this is our B, north, east, south, and west. So our B is here, 295 degrees, covering 53 kilometers to B. So now that we have our B, and we've told C is 75 kilometers east of B. So east of B here, we cover 75 kilometers, and this is now our C. So, so this is 75 kilometers, let's say that. So remember, this is how We've shown on the sketch the 3 positions. We have down village A, village B, and we have village C. Now when you're actually drawing the actual, what you need to do, you will just now measure. Once you have this, you will use the compass to determine the 295 degrees where it is, and now you can draw the line. And remember, 53 kilometers, we have 1 centimeter is equals to 10 kilometers. What about 53 kilometers? You cross multiply, becomes 1 times 53 divided by 10. This becomes 5.3 centimeters, and for 75 becomes 7.5. So you're just going to use the ruler and draw 5.3 centimeters to this side and 7.5 centimeters to the other side. And question B, you had been told to determine the distance between from C to A. So you're just going to join these 2 lines once you've actually drawn using the correct measurements. And once you measure once you measure this side, what you're going to do, remember last, you're going to change it into kilometers. So technically this is how this question was supposed to be done. The first part was 2 marks and the second part 2 marks. Just showing this and then joining the 2. So basically this is how question 7 was to be done. So now let's go to question number 8. So on to question 8, you are asked to determine the least mass in grams, and you are given 40 grams to 50 grams and 350 grams. The secret here, this was just a very simple and direct question. When you're asked to determine the least or smallest, what they require you to do is the LCM. Just anything determining, like any word that represents a small, is LCM. And maybe if you're asked to determine the greatest, the biggest, they only require you to find the GCD. So technically here, just do the LCM. So solution, finding the LCM, we have 40, we have 250, and we have 350. So we begin with the smallest number that can go. So we have 2. 2 goes to 40, 20. 2 goes to 250, 125, and 2 goes to 350, 175. So now the next number that can actually go to this, we have 2 again, goes to 20 10 times. It cannot go, it's not divisible by 2. Then we have 2 again, goes to 10 5 times, 125, 175. Then 5 goes to 5 once, goes to 125, 25, and goes to 175, 35. Then we have 5 goes to 1, 5 goes to 25 5 times, 5 goes to 35 7 times. Then we have 5 again, goes to 5 once, 7 remains 7, and lastly we have 7, 1, 1, 1. So once you've done the LCM, just come and take this. This is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 7. The same as 2 raised to cube, 2 times 1, 2, 3 times 5, 1, 2, 3 times 7. You can actually use your calculator and you're going to find 7,000. So your answer is 7,000 grams. So technically this is how you expected to do this question. Just normal LCM, and that it gives your answers. And remember, they've asked you to determine in grams, and the good thing, you are given in grams, so you don't need to change anything. So that is your answer. So let's go to question number 9.